I'm live. Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? Am I sideways? Why does it say my orientation is locked? Orientation is not locked. No, it's not. Why does it say my orientation is locked? I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, let me start off by saying, I guess we're just gonna have to deal with some vertical videos. Let me start off by saying, 10 months ago when CYNTHIA ERIVO was announced that she was gonna be playing Harriet Tubman, I filmed like several videos, at least 3 of them. I've had a lot of people hitting me up asking me what do I think about this, which I find to be very interesting because I've already filmed several videos on this topic. So please go look in the hashtag BA Gang playlist if you are a new subscriber or a new or you forgot those videos or you haven't seen them or you know you're not sure, whatever. Hashtag BA Gang playlist, there are several videos in there about this topic because I did a series of videos when they first announced that she was going to be cast. One of them is called like Stop It, CYNTHIA ERIVO. One of them is called like It's a Hell No. Like there are several videos already on this topic. So I will also be including links in the description box of this live stream as well after it's over. So, but I'm just going to say, I'm going to apologize again for this video being the long way. It's not for some reason allowing me. I mean, I guess I could stop it and start it over. But you guys are already here. I don't know why it's not allowing me. My rotation lock is not on. I don't know why it's not allowing me to turn it. So I'm just going to go really quickly through how I feel about this. Before I do it, let me also tell you there are several videos already on about this in the hashtag BA Gang playlist that I made when they first announced that CYNTHIA ERIVO was cast. So people have been asking me how do I feel about it. My feelings have not changed from the 10 months when she was first. I feel exactly the same. Harriet Tubman is a real person. She's not a fictional character. She's a fictitious character. She is a real person. She was born and raised in Maryland. There were some people talking like as if she was fresh off the boat, like as if she fucking came here directly from Africa. That is not the case. Can you guys see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you see me? Can you guys see me? I think you can see me. Yes, you can see me. Okay, good. So, yeah, the signal was bad, so I moved. Should be a little bit better now. Cool. Okay. Should be. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is, number one, Harriet Tubman was born in Maryland. People are acting like as if she was fresh off the boat, like she was, you know, brought here directly from Africa or something of that nature. That's not the case. Harriet Tubman was born, I want to say, in the mid-1800s. She was already, you know, we were already several generations into American chattel slavery when Harriet Tubman was born. So whatever this excuse is of like, CYNTHIA ERIVO was closer anyway because she's an African or, you know, she's a black Brit or whatever. I don't know what that's supposed to be. That's incorrect. It's historically inaccurate. When Harriet Tubman was born, we were already several generations into American chattel slavery. She was born in Maryland. As I said previously, I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C., as everybody knows, so this is very sort of close and personal to us in a lot of ways. So she was a Black American. She was born here. She was not fresh off the boat. She did not have any type of ties to Africa. So whatever this ideal of like, well, it would be better for an African to play her anyway is false, right? It's false. It's historically inaccurate. It's bullshit. Again, Harriet Tubman was a real person. She's not a fictional character. She's not a superhero. She's not a mythological Greek god. You know, like, we can use these type of sort of maybe pejorative terms, figurative terms to talk about, you know, how powerful she is, but like Harriet Tubman was a real person. She's not a made-up person. This is not a fictional character that we can just, it's not Santa Claus, you know. This is not like when people complain about, you know, Santa Claus has to be white. Like, no, Harriet Tubman was a real person, right? So, there's that. So for a lot of us as Black Americans, we feel like since she was a real person and since she was a real, you know, sort of figure and a Black American, again, you know, born and raised in Maryland, completely removed from Africa. Yes, she was, because we were several generations into the slave trade. A lot of us feel like it would be a Black American, you know, would be more appropriate for the role, right? Aside from that, even if you just want to talk in general about Cynthia Erivo personally, she has a disdain for Black Americans. She's spoken very publicly about this disdain that she has for Black Americans. She's made fun of us in public. She's made fun of us on Twitter. She's made fun of us on social platforms. She's talked about us as being ghetto, as being uncultured, as being uncouth, you know, like, ooh, talking in my Black American accent, you know, like she has a disdain for us. She looks down on us. But now that she feels like she can get some attention, that she can get some clout, that she can get some awards, she's trying to get the EGOT. She already has the Emmy, the Grammy, and the Tony. She's trying to get the Oscar with this role. There's a lot of very clear Oscar chasing, clout chasing, attention chasing, award chasing. I would say probably ever since 12 Years a Slave sort of swept the Oscars, with majority foreign blacks playing Black American slaves in that role as well. 12 Years a Slave. With Lupita and Chiwetel, who are foreign blacks, they're not American blacks, playing, you know, Black Americans and being highly rewarded for these roles. We've seen a lot of sort of foreign blacks kind of get into this mode of playing Black Americans, you know, for clout, for attention, for awards. And since Cynthia Erivo already has the Emmy, the Grammy, and the Tony, she's clearly trying to go for the Oscar. That's something that you see very often, that she's trying to get the EGOT, she's trying to get the EGOT, let her get the EGOT, let her get the EGOT, you know. So it's like, but you don't like Black Americans. You think we're ghetto, you think we're uncultured, you think we're uncouth. You have this disdain for us. You very publicly talked out your ass about us, but now you see a way that you can get an Oscar playing us, playing Harriet Tubman in a movie, and you sort of jump at that. So I have an issue with her specifically, Cynthia specifically, being in this role. And I have an issue just sort of in general, the way that they're trying to make it like as if Harriet Tubman wasn't a real person. We were also talking a little bit about it on Instagram, and I find it very interesting that when it was Nina Simone, which longtime subscribers, you guys can't hear me? Can you hear me? Someone said they can't hear me. I am sitting outside, so I also feel like it's very interesting that with Nina Simone, longtime subscribers will probably remember that 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago, I did a video on Zoe Saldana being cast as Nina Simone. In that video from 3 years ago, I said I feel like it's inappropriate. There's one thing you guys can say about me. You cannot like me, you can hate me, you can say whatever. One thing you guys can say about me is y'all niggas know I'm consistent, right? So 3 years ago, I said I didn't feel like Zoe Saldana was appropriate to play Nina Simone, and I said the exact same thing. I said Nina Simone was a Black American. Her being a Black American, her struggles as a dark-skinned Black American woman were a huge part of her artistry. They were a huge part of her identity. They were a huge part of who she is, again, as an artist, as a person. I don't think it's appropriate to cast Zoe Saldana, who is Black, but is not a Black American, to play Nina Simone. It was very interesting to see sort of the backlash that Zoe Saldana got, chasing an award, obviously, trying to get an Academy Award. It was very interesting to see the amount of backlash that Zoe Saldana got for wearing a prosthetic nose, for appearing in blackface, for having them darken up her skin. You know, here's someone that has been very vocal about the fact that she's Dominican. She's Afro-Latinx. She's a Black Dominican. She's Black, absolutely. She's from Queens, absolutely, right? But she's Dominican. She's been very, very, very vocal about that. A lot of people understood the sort of apprehension about having Zoe Saldana play Nina Simone. There really, because I did a video about it. This is 3 years ago. I did a video about it. There really wasn't this pushback, right? Zoe Saldana's Black. We're all Black. Everybody's Black. What's the big deal? What's the problem? Not one person said that to me when I made my video about Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone 3 years ago. No one said that. There was no pushback. We were able to have a conversation about it. But now we're here, sitting here 3 years later, we're talking about Cynthia Erivo and Harriet Tubman, and all of a sudden there's all this pushback. Well, we're all Black. Why does it matter? I find that to be extremely interesting. I don't know if it's just because of like the social environment that we're in right now, that Trump being president right now, that this is like some type of like concerted effort from the foreign Blacks that maybe wasn't there 3 years ago. But yes, it's a very interesting shift, Andrew, because I did a video 3 years ago on literally this exact same topic where I said the exact same thing. I'm not comfortable with Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone. It got all the way to AJ Plus. Al Jazeera Plus used some clips from my video, you know? And people understood. Yeah, I don't think that Zoe Saldana is appropriate playing Nina Simone. She's not a Black American. Nina Simone's artistry was specifically about her being a Black American. Zoe Saldana has some more Eurocentric features, even though she's brown skinned. She has, you know, a thinner nose, some higher cheekbones, you know, some different types of features. People were not sure if it was appropriate for her as a Dominican, as an Afro-Latinx, to be playing Nina Simone. And the movie did bomb because people didn't support it. They were not comfortable with it. But yet here we are 3 years later, and we are having this exact same conversation with CYNTHIA ERIVO and Harriet Tubman, and all of a sudden the script has been motherfucking flipped. And people are singing a totally different tune about the exact same topic. Let me say again, at least I'm consistent. I said the same thing 3 years ago. I'm going to say the same thing now. When it comes to characters and figures, again, Nina Simone was a real person. Harriet Tubman was a real person. We're talking about real women, Black American women in history, right? That them being Black Americans, that them being oppressed in a certain types of way here in the United States was an integral part of their identity, was an integral part of the art that Nina Simone created, was an integral part of who Harriet Tubman was as a figure, you know, leading slaves to freedom. This is not fictitious. We're not taking creative license with this to get an Oscar, to get some attention, to get the EGOT. Oh, just let her have it. She's trying to get the ego. There are some things that are more important than getting these white people awards. There are some things that are more important than getting this white validation. There are some things that are more important than getting a little gold statue that you can, you know, put on your mantle at home. There are some historical figures that actually mean something to people. And I think that Black American history, again, it's seen as fictitious, is seen as something that belongs to everyone. It's seen as folklore. It's seen as not very real, and that anyone can just latch onto it, again, to get some attention, to get some awards, to get some clout, and that is where we sit right now. And so again, in a broader sense, I don't think it's appropriate, the same as I didn't think that Zoe Saldana playing Nina Simone was appropriate. And in a more micro sense, I especially don't think that it's appropriate for CYNTHIA ERIVO because she has a disdain for Black Americans. She's publicly spoken against us as being ghetto, uncultured, classless, and uncouth. But now that she has an opportunity to win an award playing a storied Black American figure, she's all for it. Again, these are the exact same things I said in my Nina Simone Zoe Saldana video from 3 years ago. These are exact same things that I said in the 2 or 3 videos that I made on CYNTHIA ERIVO and Harriet Tubman when it was first announced. It's just the trailers came out, so people have been asking me. My mind has not changed. I still feel the same. I feel the same. I feel the same. I feel the same. A lot of people have also been bringing up, you know, Viola Davis wanted to play Harriet Tubman. Where did Viola Davis playing Harriet Tubman go? You know, it's like, obviously the executive decision was made that CYNTHIA ERIVO already has the Emmy, the Grammy, and the Tony. So we're going to try to put this push behind her so she can get this Oscar because we want these awards. Again, you guys know how I feel about awards. I don't fuck with awards. I don't think that they are an objective marker of artistic validation or artistic integrity, and that's something totally different. I'm already not with the awards. So if you're already gonna have, you're gonna have somebody that's not a Black American playing a central Black American figure, and the reasoning behind it is so they can win some awards, that's offensive to me. I'm not with it. And then the person that you pick has also publicly expressed their disdain for Black Americans, for the person you have them playing. But you're still going to be like, well, they're the right person for the role because we want them to have this award. Ooh, it's not right. It's very offensive. It's not right. I don't think it's 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 right. And like I said, that was how I felt. Because people are going to try to say I'm picking on her specifically or I got a problem now. No, no, no. You can go look at my video from 3 years ago on Nina Simone and Zoe Saldana, and I said the same thing then. And it's the same thing now. And like I said, well, I will include links to all this stuff in the description box as well, so you guys can see. And that was 3 years ago. And I said it's not appropriate. It's not appropriate. This is spitting in Black American faces. I'm very sorry for everyone that rewatches and is watching right now. I don't know why it won't let me turn, why it's like filming the long way. I don't know. I'll check a few of you guys' comments, but I feel like, you know, you guys know how I feel about it. You guys know how I feel about it. You guys know how I feel about it. You know how I feel about it. So I'll read some of your comments and then we'll get out of here. I know I've been a little slow on my videos. It's because you guys know I've been traveling. I'm doing the Black American Season 2 road tour. I've been doing a lot of filming, a lot of traveling, doing a lot of great interviews, getting a lot of good stuff. We are winding down now, so I'll probably be back to my regularly scheduled programming uploads probably starting next week. The we all came from the same place bullshit only applies when it's convenient. They're the ones who typically separate from us, especially when it comes to some Black American racism. They're playing with my heroin. And again, you guys know what I always say is that we're different, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's very interesting for me for people to be like, well, we're all the same because we're all seen the same way by white people. That's also very limiting. You're limiting your Black identity to the white gaze. You're saying that Black Americans are the same as Black Brits, that are the same as continental Africans, that are the same as West Indians because white people view us the same? Well, if a white person pulls us over, we're going to be treated exactly the same, so we're the same. So your entire Black identity is filtered through how you're seen by white people? Number one, I find that to be depressing. I feel sorry for you. Number two, we're absolutely not seen the same way by white people. No, we're not. Number three, you should be seen through your culture, through your ethnicity, through your language, through your upbringing, through your food, through your music, through your stories, through your identity should be outside of the white gaze. Mine is, I know who I am. I feel sorry for y'all. It's sad to me. It's depressing. It's depressing. Depressing. Jeez. Every time I see a Black person say that, we're all the same, we're all viewed the same by whites, I'd be like, damn, that's how you view yourself. I feel very sorry for you. I hope you can get some therapy and get your self-esteem up. Like, I can't, you know? Like, no, we're different. We have different cultures. We have different ethnicities. We have different food. We have different language. We have different music. That's what's great. That's what makes us different. Despite the fact that, yes, we're Black, we're the same race, but we're different culturally. We have different ethnicities. And that's what's beautiful. And that has nothing to do with white people. If your whole identity is filtered through the way that white people view you, therapy is necessary. Therapy is needed, y'all. Be the healing, as Joy DeGry would say. Be the healing. That we all came from the same place bullshit only applies when it's convenient. And again, it was like when Zoe Saldana was playing Nina Simone, nobody said it doesn't matter because we're all Black. Everybody understood why that was inappropriate. Everybody understood why that was inappropriate. I'm tired of slave movies. Stop already. I don't understand how people are trying to say that we're all telling the same story and it's fine as long as they're Black. We're enforcing our Black American identity. People are learning the hard way. I think this movie will bomb. Cynthia ERIVO can't channel the correct energy of a Black American. Foreign Blacks were not for Will Smith playing the Nigerian doctor. It's exactly the same. They only say we're all Black or we're all Africans when they want to take from us. But as soon as it comes down to being Black American, they're quick to separate. They just want to get that white award. They need to make it make sense. As I've said, I pray that Zoe's Nina film puts the same exact energy on this Harriet film. Yeah, we need people to keep that same energy. Are there any legit movies about Harriet Tubman? From what I've seen, there aren't even many good books about her. This is very upsetting. We need to preserve our legacies. They don't understand how insulting this casting decision is. They need to stop playing with us. I've said it once, I'll say it again. As a Black descendant of American chattel slavery and an actress, this has me feeling some type of way. Cynthia has a lot of Black American friends in the business that are championing her on. I agree. Somebody here brought up Janelle Monáe, feeling very disappointed by Black American actors and artists like Janelle Monáe supporting this. And I was like, I'm pretty sure Janelle Monáe is friends with her in real life, and she's allowing that to cloud her judgment on how important this should be to us as a collective. Not just like, oh, that's your friend, that's your homegirl, and you're happy for her, but like as a Black American, like you're part of our ethnicity, not hers. Sorry, not sorry, that's what it is. Like, people gonna have to start deciding like where their loyalties lie. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's definitely not appropriate. Harriet is rolling in her grave. This is not justice for our tribe, our lineage, heritage, legacy, history, or Harriet herself. If Cynthia won the Oscar, the award, would she focus on being a Black woman who won it, or would they talk about how she's the first Nigerian? Exactly, and I agree with that as well, because it was like when Yvonne Orji got put on from playing a Black American, right, on Insecure, the first thing she said was like, I want more Nigerians in the writing room. And she started having her little Nigerian thing, which I'm not mad at because she's Nigerian. But the thing is, You played a Black American to get that role. You're playing on this Black support, this like quote unquote we all Black support. But then when the time comes for you to pull somebody up with you, you're not pulling all Black people up with you. You're pulling your own people up with you. You're saying, I want my Nigerians in the writing room with me because I want to tell our Nigerian stories. And now she has her little first gen show coming out. That's where Black Americans are starting to feel like we're being used, right? Why can't Cynthia Erivo play someone more fitting like Queen Nzinga? I think the surge of Black American identity over the past 5 years has inspired other ethnicities and has emboldened them in ways that manifest in anti-Black American behavior. Did any Black Americans have a hand in writing the Harriet script at least? We aren't just characters, we are people. Cynthia's rendition of Ghetto Blacks is going around on Twitter. Viola Davis has the resume, but she can't get this role. It's intentional. How did they pass up Viola? A lot of people started bringing up Selma. Right, we're the leads in Selma. The leads playing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the leads playing Coretta. We're not Black Americans. They were foreign Blacks because Ava's on that same wave. Viola clearly, and again, these are obviously foreign Blacks that are trying to make a name for themselves off Black American stories, trying to get some awards and some attention. That was how Lupita got known, was 12 Years a Slave, playing a Black American, won the Oscar, got a career. That was how, what's his name from Get Out? Daniel Kaluuya, who everybody knows I hate, got known. Being in Get Out, playing the Black American, doing his rendition of Black American racism, and now he has a career. And now he's about to be in another movie that Lena Waithe has cast him in to be playing yet another Black American, the Queen and Slim shit, where the casting call for Queen and Slim literally said for the girl, Queen, it said like, we need a, you know, she's from the South, parents from the South, grandparents from the South, great-grandparents from the South. We want a dark-skinned girl that would be a field slave. That's what the casting call said. And then they cast Jodie Turner-Smith, who's a Jamaican. It's like, it's funny at this point. Like, it's deliberate. It's like, obviously people have realized that they can get some names and some careers and some attention and some clout off telling our stories. There's a belief that Black Americans can't tell our own stories, that we don't have the training, that we don't have the talent, or, you know, that our stories are up for grabs, or, again, that it's fictitious, that it's not really real, you know, all these different things. And that's what we're ending up with. That's just, and this is where we are. And this is where we are. But it's not respectful of Black Americans. And it wasn't respectful 3 years ago when they cast Saldana to play Nina Simone, which everybody understood. And it's still not respectful now with Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet Tubman, but for some reason people don't understand what's the difference. It's just, it's curious to me. I feel like I'm watching a sociological study of some kind. The fake wokes kill me. This is very offensive. Viola could have eaten that roll to pieces. They jump for joy over casting like Cynthia's, but ignore what she says. She's past disrespectful. I would have loved to see an up-and-coming dark-skinned Black American actress. Let me also say that y'all love acting like Black Americans are not dark-skinned. I see a lot of people saying, well, they just want to see dark-skinned woman representation, like as if Black Americans can't be dark-skinned. Like as if to get dark-skinned representation, you have to have a foreign Black. I find that to be a really weird thing that people say. It's very strange. I remember, yes, I reached out to Cynthia directly on Instagram and she blocked me. Absolutely disgusting, and I hope it's a flop. This is a very clear and hardline argument. It's beyond fair. The trailer was terrible. Africans could understand it perfectly. When Will Smith was playing an African doctor, they didn't like it. Cynthia might be a good actress, but she will never be able to relate to Harriet Tubman like a Black American would. Don't other cultures have heroes? We are our own tribe. We're not seen the same by white people. The trailer was lackluster. No other Black group has a culture similar to ours. We're very different. I don't know why people get in their feelings when we say this. I hope the movie doesn't do well. Looks like most of us aren't checking for that movie. They got Cynthia in the movie looking like a docile woman as Harriet. Even other white people in countries don't see each other the same. Yes, because people love to say, like, white people don't do this. Like, yes, they do. Like, white people don't like Jews. They don't like Armenians. Irish, you know, Protestants don't like Catholics. Like, white people hate. They love hating on each other. They're not like, I'm white and you're white, so we're all good. Like, they don't do that. Like, I don't know if it's just that people are in denial, or they're living in a fantasy world, if they're deliberately being disingenuous to try to ignore what Black Americans are saying, or if they're just ignorant, they don't know their, like, actual history, like of white people. But, like, white people hate other white folks. What are y'all talking about? If a Black American played Bob Marley in 2019, the backlash. Black people are not monolithic. Martin Luther King Jr. and his death pushed the forfeit of Black American cultural privacy. No white person is going to define how I see myself or how I measure myself or my culture. Whenever people say white people see us as this, they're concerned about how whites see you. This Harriet movie has whitewashed all over it. This situation is funny because just last week I saw some people complaining that there should have been some real Africans in The Lion King. There's a double standard. They feel like there should be real Africans in The Lion King, but when it comes to Harriet Tubman, we all black. They don't believe what they're saying. It's just fear. Mexicans also didn't want Puerto Rican J-Lo to play Selena. All other groups do this, but Black Americans are the only ones. Right, we're the only ones that they say is, like, wrong. And I remember, like, Mexicans were very upset about Jennifer Lopez playing Selena. And they had a right. Like, we are different. People do have different ethnicities. It's true. I don't mind slave movies and shows. White people should not be permitted to forget what they did. However, for American chattel slavery, descendants of American chattel slavery should be the first to be considered and chosen. I'm not tired of slave narratives. However, this is not it. They did the same thing with Selma and 12 Years a Slave. Exactly. Mexicans were pissed J-Lo played Selena, and I don't blame them. The show Underground was the only show that gave Harriet Tubman legitimacy. I refuse to look at myself through the lens of white people. We need a huge shot of confidence. Casey Lemons really disappointed me with her condoning and justifying Cynthia Erivo and Janelle Monáe. I'm disappointed. I agree they use our narratives because they view it as awards and Oscar bait, and it's gross. Yeah. They always align themselves with Black Americans, but you can't trust the industry. We need some ethnocentric pride. I'm also upset with DACS, descendant of American chattel slavery celebs, standing with projects like these. They need to stand up for what's right, not for friends who I can almost guarantee would not stand up for them. Janelle wants to be a successful actor in a successful film. That's why she's defending it. Foreign blacks meet us with opposition every time we demand some sort of respect for ourselves. Would Yvonne Orji stand by DACS, or would Cynthia? No. We are not the doormat. We're still opening doors. Only difference today is we don't have the swanky doorman suit. They said that Viola couldn't play Harriet Tubman because she was too tall. Really? Okay. The trailer is very parody-ish. I can't take it seriously. A foreign black is gonna play Asada Shakur, and Ava is gonna direct it. Oh my me. Somebody called me on the phone. Sorry. Somebody called me. Somebody called me. Sorry. Hopefully y'all can see me. I'm back. Somebody called me. Lupita got an Oscar for barely doing shit. I'm still side-eyeing her whole career. They're trying to take over our authors as well. Octavia Butler, the sci-fi queen herself, and a movie of her book is being written by a Nigerian who wrote a book called Akata Witch. The dude from Snowfall is not a Black American either. No, he's a Brit. He's a Black Brit. And they put all this money into hiring vocal coaches to get him like the Compton accent. I was like, or you could have just hired an actor from Compton. Harriet should have been played by a dark-skinned Black American actress, period. Viola Davis is a classic actress. It's amazing how they didn't let her be Harriet Tubman. I'm mad about this. I love Harriet Tubman. It should have been Viola. Clout-chasing bums need to do their own stories. Yeah. Lupita's on some crazy stuff. She had a documentary series about the Serengeti. In the trailer, she said this is a story untold about Africa, but the story was about animals. Oh, wow. I did like her in Queen of Katwe. We can't even tell our own stories anymore, and that's why they think we're not a real people. This is a political study. Think of who the audience is for this stuff. Is it white Americans or black Americans? Who is paying to see some random African actor in these American films? I also felt the English was too clear and modern in the trailer for Harriet. I'm 1000% sure Harriet didn't speak like that, which makes me think of Zora Neale Hurston and writing and creating films in a very specific black American dialect, which we do have. And we even have like variations within our dialect because of region, right? And location and slang and the way that we talk and the words that we use. And a part of Zora Neale Hurston's life work was traveling and, you know, writing down, recording the way that the black Americans that she talked to, the way that we specifically talked and the words that we used. And, you know, but when you just say, well, we're all black and none of that stuff matters, that's how you sort of get this like flattening of ethnicity and of culture. And everybody just thinks it's totally fine. The only dark-skinned rep people feel comes from Lupita. We have plenty of dark-skinned folks in black America. We don't always need a foreign black for dark-skinned representation. Harriet Tubman is just a money grab for Cynthia. I hope this movie bombs. Cynthia has made too many crazy statements against black Americans. To this day, I still don't understand why white people are so angry. How do they distinguish Jews from them? Nigeria's Nollywood would never stand for black Americans playing their heroes. I wonder what Harriet's descendants think about this film. A lot of these people are in love with white folks. How does Cynthia Erivo think it's okay to portray a people that she mocks and has a contempt for? White people are the original haters. They hate everything and everyone. There's definitely a difference between white people. They have ethnicities that get acknowledged as well. Jewish folks want their kids to marry a nice Jewish boy or girl. Hispanics separate themselves too. Mexicans, Guatemalans, etc. It's definitely a double standard. People need to stop this black is black mess. It's annoying. I saw your comment, Nia. I was just behind a little bit. There's authenticity when descendants of American chattel slavery play these roles. Black American culture is cosplay for them. I agree. The real question is, who is this movie made for? Hi to everybody that said hi to me. I see y'all. Watch, they're gonna have a white woman playing Harriet Tubman in 20 years. They're really trying to erase us out of our history. The industry wants to use foreign blacks to water down our legacy. It's made for white people by white people with some black faces. Black Americans, please just don't see this movie. I won't. Bye, Monica. When I get to the end of these comments, I'm gonna go. A lot of foreign blacks think negatively of us. They don't care for us. ERIVO just wants to make checks and awards. They're showing their true colors. I see you guys said my screen went black. Yeah, somebody was calling me. Somebody was calling me. Wait, so Viola being 5 inches taller than Harriet takes away from authenticity, but Cynthia not being a black American doesn't? Okay, it's a lot, Remy. It's a lot of like, it's a lot of like this, but not that. I wish we could love ourselves a bit more. This movie is pure foolery all around. It just shows you how black Americans aren't in charge of our own narratives and we're starved for representation. I love the way Zora Neale Hurston wrote dialect. They're making this Harriet movie with a foreign black and a bunch of white saviors. They just didn't want Viola to play her. We need to stop making black people a monolith. It's very funny too, because they'll be like, black people aren't a monolith, and they'll turn around and be like, we're all black. We're all viewed the same by white people. Okay. What's happening is the intentional erasure of descendants of American chattel slavery, and everyone's in on it. That's what pisses me off the most. People can always pick and choose when they want to be black, except for black Americans. This is who we are every single day, and it will never change. Irish, Italian, white Anglo-Saxons don't see themselves at all the same. I really do believe that they think they are taking over our culture. I feel like ever since you brought up this topic, I really began to notice more and more that non-American blacks are literally getting all of the roles. Okay, but number one, you misspelled Cornel West. That's number one. Number two, we are allowed to change. We're allowed to change what we think. We're allowed to change our minds. Just because Cornel West said it, just because motherfucking Kanye West said it, just because motherfucking Malcolm X said it, just because Martin Luther King said it, just because anybody said it, doesn't mean that we need to go on continuing with what they said previously. We can decide for ourselves that we agree or that we disagree. So for example, previously there was a lot of Pan-Africanism, which is what a lot of Black Americans were taught. A lot of us were taught that, oh, we're all Black and it doesn't matter. And then we started seeing the ways that we were being written out of our own history and the ways that other people were sort of benefiting from our history. Meanwhile, we are being disrespected. We have people that don't support us. They don't do anything for us. So it doesn't matter what somebody previously said. What does that have to do with what we're talking about right now? Absolutely nothing. And let me also read to you what your quote says. It doesn't matter the color as long as the intent of purity and they are fulfilling themselves to the peoples. So would you say that that's even what's happening? Would we say that the intent is pure? No, these people don't have pure intentions. These people have the shittiest of intentions. Their intentions are to get awards. Their intentions are to get attention. Their intentions are to get clout. Their intentions are to make money, right? I'm an anti-capitalism, as you guys know. People don't even have the correct intentions. So don't tell me about no quote that rests on the basis of people having good intentions for their people. Because people don't even have good intentions for their people. Number one, we could motherfucking start right there. People don't even have intentions for their people. Or they see their people as Nigerians. They see their people as Black Brits. They see their people as Igbo. They see their people as something that Black Americans are not. And yet when Black Americans say, well, we have to see ourselves as our own people as well, and we have to have the best intentions for our people and our own ethnicity, it's a problem. It's interesting to me. How does that work? Y'all don't know how to think for yourselves. You just read a bunch of quotes and go by something you read and what somebody said. Think for yourselves. Think for yourselves. Cynthia ERIVO said herself that Black Americans are ghetto and uncouth and she don't like us. So obviously she don't have no good intentions for us. She don't have no good intentions in taking this role. All these people that are saying the reason why they support her getting the role is because they want her to get an Oscar, which is a marker of white validation. Like, are you listening to yourselves? Are you thinking? Are you thinking? Are y'all thinking? Think. You have a brain. Use it. It's been 38 minutes, y'all. I might leave y'all with that. I might leave y'all with that. Cornel West isn't going to be alive in 40 years, but we should bow to the way that they relate to Blackness and the whole Kumbaya theme, which didn't work for us. Martin Luther King Jr. said a lot of things and he got shot in the throat. I don't necessarily have to follow in his footsteps because I don't want to get shot in the throat by a white person. I don't have to care about anything he said. No disrespect, but I don't have to. It matters. West Africans never acknowledged their slave trading, anti-abolitionist past. It does matter. Stop plastering this all lives matter paint on this. Ethnicity matters. Nationality matters. Other ethnic groups don't have the same values like we do as Black Americans. Oh my God, I was talking to Lydia. You guys know Lydia's the homie. That she sent me the books, and she's a foreign Black. And we were even talking about the concept of Pan-Africanism in Africa. And she said to me, she was like, listen, she was like, you know, a lot of the reasons why continental Africans also look down on Black Americans is because even if you start getting into caste systems, when we start talking about ethnicity, she was like, people were kidnapped and brought to America, people that would never interact. People of different castes, of different social statuses, different tribes, different ethnicities, different cultures. She was like, so a lot of people even look at y'all as like an actual abomination because you are mixtures of things that were never supposed to mix. So when we even start talking about we all black and it's all the same, and you know, Pan-Africanism, that's not even something that exists other places. Like, Black Americans have the wool pulled over our eyes, y'all. Like, we're talking about shit that will not even exist anywhere else. It only specifically exists here specifically because of American chattel slavery and the fact that we all got mixed up against our will. That's why it even exists here. So when you even hear people saying stuff like we all black, they would never even say that back in Africa. They would never even say that anywhere else. They would never say that. Like, they are lying to us, y'all. Like, and she was like, we were talking about it, and she was like, a lot of Pan-Africanism as it exists now in Africa was inspired by Black Americans, right? People sort of taking their cues from us and trying to create it over there, because that's not even something that's kind of natural over there. That's not even something that's socially acceptable over there. That's not how they do things over there. So all this shit be lies, be bullshit. Like, I'm being real with y'all. Y'all know I keep it real with y'all. Like, I don't lie to y'all. I'm telling y'all the truth. All this shit be lies. It be garbage. It be garbage. Because Black Americans, as I always say, there's a social hierarchy where Black Americans are at the bottom, right? And everybody has an investment in keeping us there. You just, that's, and if people can't get with you trying to get up out of that social hierarchy, like I said, I have friends that are foreign blacks, continental Africans, Black Brits. I see you, Tyrone, in here, London crew. Like, I have friends that totally understand what I'm talking about, that I can talk with this about, that put me up on game about the way that Black people feel abroad, that we talk all the time. The people that don't understand it, I'd be like, I already know you're not on my side. Cornel West isn't going to be alive in 40 years, but we should bow to the way they relate to Blackness and the whole Kumbaya theme, which didn't work for us. Times have changed. Our mentality should evolve too. Cynthia's tweets revealed her intentions. We all black was a survival mechanism from when we were pretty much the only damn black folks here. The diaspora is taking advantage of structures we created while being disrespectful. They can have West African pride meetups, all of the non-black American actors and actresses and actors, but I keep freezing. But we shouldn't want to fight for what our people did here. I'm gonna read that again because I think I froze. I might end it soon because my service is not that great. They can have West African pride meetups, all the non-black American actresses and actors, but we shouldn't want to fight for what our people did here. I want to see a movie about how Black Brits got their freedom in the UK. Will they cast Black Americans in the roles? They try to say we're xenophobic when we advocate for our own image. People need to think critically. They have pure intentions to come up on Black American stories and leave us in the dust. We can visit Pan-Africanism once we have ensured our continuity and survival of our culture in about 200 years from now. A lot of drunk drivers don't intend to crash, but they do. Intentions, what are we talking about? The continent of Africa isn't Pan-Africanist. Foreign blacks can take from us all they want, but as soon as descendants of American chattel slavery say stop, this is disrespectful to my culture, foreign blacks throw around the term xenophobic and make us the bad guy, which they started doing to me years ago. I don't care.